Namaste viewers and welcome to Bend It Like LD, and today's class is a 40-minute strong Hatha Yoga practice. So I've not been keeping too well and I haven't been doing my yoga practice as well, so I thought let me just do a complete sequence. And a lot of my friends actually have been asking me to do a complete video for say 45 minutes or 1 hour, so I just decided to go along with the flow and do a complete self practice, which I just got it shot as a video so that it could be useful to some of you out there. So let's get started quickly by sitting up nice and tall in any comfortable posture, keeping your back nice and straight, spine straight. Just relax your shoulders, relax your hips, trying to just get your body, breath and mind in focus here. And slowly from there moving on to, okay, we're just going to start with the standing posture. So coming up to Tadasana first. As you inhale, lift your arms all the way up and lift your heels all the way up. Just a set of warm-up poses to activate the legs, activate the glutes, activate the upper body. Couple of heel raises, about 2 or 3 times. Inhale all the way up, engage with your toes, lift up all the way. Exhale, release, bend your elbows and do that about 3 or 5 times. I really haven't planned my sequence today, so it's just going to be a flow that comes naturally to me. And push your hips forward, stretch back. So I did not really create a set sequence. I'm just going with the flow because this is what I do even in my self-practice. Slowly release. From there, bend your right knee, straighten the left knee, just stretching out your left hamstring here and alternate your sides. Straighten the front right knees, bend the left knee. Just working up the shoulders a little bit out here, warming up your shoulders, warming up your hamstrings. And slowly, you can also do the same thing by pressing your palms down, lifting your left arm all the way up by just incorporating a little twisting action here. And on the other side, bending the left knee, straighten the right knee completely. Lift your right arm up, looking up towards your right fingertips. And hands to your hips and slowly come up. And just a little bit of hip rotation here to just warm up the hips here. So separate your feet about mat distance apart and nice wide hip circles from left to right with awareness. 5 to 6 times clockwise, in fact 5 to 6 times anti-clockwise. And from there, lift your right arm all the way up, keeping your feet hip distance apart or mat distance apart. Inhale, lengthen your spine first, and as you exhale, fold laterally to the left side. Now you really want to make sure that you're rooting through your feet firmly into the mat and your legs are very active, your thighs are active. Open up the right shoulder and repeat on the other side. You want to make sure that your legs are active, your upper body is active. You're not collapsing your chest is moving back. If you can, turn your head and look towards your fingertips. I've been down with a bit of throat infection and I haven't done any yoga in the last couple of days. So today's practice also, I don't know how it's going to turn out. So taking your feet outside your mat, right foot outside the mat and left foot outside the mat. Fingertips on your mat, straighten the elbows completely. Just doing a little bit of a squat version here, pushing your knees out. Slowly lift your right arm and left arm by the sides of your ears. Lift the chest up. Make sure your knees are moving out. Make sure your hips are pushing back and down. Staying here for about 5 to 6 breaths and inhale, slowly come up. Push your hip forward, stretch back for a little counter stretch there. And I'm going to go for Ashtanga Surya Namaskara A today. So inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to Hasta Uttana. As you exhale, fold forward from the side all the way down, Uttanasana. Fingertips on the mat, or you can take your palms under your knees for chest and head lifted up, Ardha Uttana. Bend your knees, walk back first to Chaturanga. You can always keep your knees down in Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, or you can always do Bhujangasana by keeping your knees on the mat. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So please feel free to modify, the entire sequence to suit your needs, to suit your level, depending on what level of practice you are. Staying here for 5 breaths, Focusing on Ujjayi breathing here, breathing in and breathing out through the back of your throat muscles, through your nose. And slowly bend your knees and either walk back or jump forward, lifting the chest and head up into Ardha Uttana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up, Hasta Uttana. Exhale, Samasthiti. So I think I'm going for about 3 to 5 rounds of Ashtanga A. So go ahead and practice how much ever is comfortable to you. Fingertips on the mat, chest and head lifted up, flat back. Bend your knees. Walk back or jump back to Chaturanga straight if you're jumping back, or you can do knees, chest and chin. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha or Bhujanga. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Staying in Adho Mukha for 5 breaths with Ujjayi breathing. You can always bend your knees here as well if your hamstrings are tight. And slowly shift your weight, bend your knees, jump between your palms, keeping your knees together as much as you can. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Maybe 2 or 3 or 4 rounds more, I don't know. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Try to keep lengthening your hamstrings, shift your weight towards your toes, push into your palms. If you want, you can take 1 step back. I like to do that by shifting my weight towards my palms. Jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You can always do the Shivananda style Surya Namaskar as well, the classical sun salutations. If you think that you find this difficult or you're not comfortable doing this, you can always go to the regular sun salutations. In any case, sun salutations are just to kind of get the whole body moving. So it really wouldn't matter what you choose to practice. I think 1 more round. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Make sure you're breathing all the way through here. Bend your knees, fingertips on the mat, chest and head lifted up, Ardha Uttana. Bend your knees, take back 1 step, push your weight into your palms, jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. I always like to stay in Urdhva Mukha, up dog, for a couple of extra breaths. It kind of feel like it opens my back a little more. Press into your palms firmly, spread your fingers. Make sure your neck is neutral with your spine. Bend your knees, shift your weight forward and jump between your palms. Fingertips on the mat, chest and head lifted up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. I think I'm going to go for 1 last round, I guess. I hope this is the last one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Staying here for 5 breaths with Ujjayi breathing. Breathing in and breathing out through your nose, but while you exhale, use the back of your throat muscles. It should almost sound like a baby snoring. Bend your knees, lift your heels all the way up, shift your weight towards your palms, jump between your palms into a flat back straight away. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. There, I think I'm done. So slowly relaxing here for 5 breaths. Consciously slowing down your breath, taking a deep inhalation, longer, deeper exhalation. And from there, slowly moving to a balancing pose, Vrikshasana. I thought I'll just take it a little slow because I haven't done a yoga practice for a while. So I thought I'll start with Vrikshasana because it builds a lot of stability, a lot of strength in the legs. It also helps to keep the core active. So slowly lift up, fix your gaze at a point in front of you. Make sure you're pulling the left hip in, pull the belly in. If you're comfortable, you can lift your arms all the way up. Make sure the right knee is pointing to the right side. Staying here for about 5 to 10 breaths and release and change sides. And you can always keep your foot below the knee. If you feel you don't have the range of motion to lift your heel all the way up, you can always place it below the knee as well, but not on the kneecap though. Palms to your heart center first. Gaze at a fixed point, and if you're comfortable, lift your arms up, but you can continue to place your palms to the heart center as well. Pull the right hip in, pull the navel in, tuck the tailbone, rooting through your right foot firmly into the mat. Staying here, breathing normally throughout the practice. Exhale, release. And slowly step to the front, and I think we'll go for another balancing pose today, Garudasana, I believe. So bend your knees softly and wrap your right leg over your left leg completely. Squat back and take your left elbow over the right elbow. Lift your elbows up. You can already see I'm kind of wobbly. I'm not feeling too good in this. I don't know why. But I'm just going to go with the flow. So sit back, push back your hips down into a nice squat, and from there see if you can, without dropping your right foot, taking your right leg all the way back, bringing the upper body parallel to the floor for Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Staying here for 5 breaths, and with control, slowly dropping that right foot all the way back into a high lunge, or bend your knees and jump back. Sorry, I thought I'm going to do a lunge, but then I'm just jumping back into Chaturanga. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. That's why I said, because I really don't remember what I did, so I'm just going with the flow. Inhale, lift the chest and head up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up. I'm going to go through the whole sequence into a vinyasa, so I'm weaving the Ashtanga Surya Namaskara 8 in between my sequences to keep the heat going in the body. Garudasana on the left side, wrapping your left knee over your right knee, wrapping it behind your shins if you can, and right elbow over the left elbow. Yes, a little wobbly again. Push the hip back, squat down, lift your elbows up, and from there slowly take your left leg back all the way to Warrior 3. Make sure your hips are square, pull the left hip down, upper body parallel to the floor, gaze at a fixed point, and from there bend your knees softly, drop your palms on the mat, and jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And from here, jumping through to finish my vinyasa, bend your knees from Adho Mukha, shift your weight forward, jump between your palms, fingertips on the mat, chest and head lifted up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, fold all the way down, and take your left leg back. Moving into a high lunge. Inhale, sweep up. Make sure the back kneecap is lifted up. Pull your left hip forward, lifting through your rib cage, lifting through your chest. Straight elbows, stay there for about 5 breaths. And from there, swipe your right arm all the way and twist towards your left side. Make sure the chest is lifted up, the back kneecap is pulled up. And try to bring your left elbow outside the right knee, bringing your palms to your heart center. Opening up the right shoulder, gazing up, Parivrita Pashvakonasana here. The back knee can always be on the mat depending on your comfort. And see if you want to go a little more deeper by pushing the left palm all the way down into the mat and taking your right arm over your right ear. And slowly come back and step your right leg back all the way back to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. That's a lot of work on the legs. And jump between your palms, complete your vinyasa here. You can always skip the vinyasa. If you think you're already getting tired or you're feeling exhausted, you can always skip the vinyasa. I usually do that many times too, because I get very tempted to skip the vinyasa because it's very tiring. But I think today I'm just kind of going through with it. Walk back, and on the other side, take your right leg all the way back, pull the back kneecap up, lift the chest up, head up. The hip can be slightly elevated. One breath, inhale, come up into a high lunge. Make sure the right hip is pulled forward, your hips are square. Tuck the tailbone, pull the belly in, stay there as much as you can. And slowly slide your left arm all the way down and twist and look towards your left wall. Pulling up the back kneecap throughout the practice, lift the chest up. A lot of strength building in your legs here. Slowly take your right elbow outside the left knee, bringing your palms to your heart center. Open up the left shoulder, staying there for about 5 breaths. And then trying to go a little more deeper by pushing your right palm all the way down. Try to wriggle your armpit all the way close to your knee. And from there, slowly with control, palms on the mat, take your left leg back to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. There I can actually see that I'm already getting a little tired. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And staying here for about 5 breaths to just allow the body to kind of settle down. And jump between your palms, fingertips on the mat, chest and head lifted up. Exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana, complete your vinyasa. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, lift your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. And Ardha Uttana, flat back. From there, jump back or walk back. I think we're going to do Vasishthasana. So sliding your heels all the way to the left side, right arm lifted up. If you want, you can actually go for a Vrikshasana here by pushing your right foot into your left thigh. And see if you can take your left palm down and come into a Chaturanga, one-legged Chaturanga if you can manage. Slowly shift your weight forward. Yes, and inhale, Urdhva Mukha. You can keep your back toes tucked. You don't need to untuck them. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Releasing the foot, moving on to the other side, coming to a plank, separate your feet slightly, and then stack your feet if you can. Push your hip forward, lift the hip up, bend your left knee now. Make sure your chest is lifted up. Make sure your right elbow is pointing towards your toes. Left arm lifted up. Not easy. A lot of work here on your upper body. Bring the left palm down into a one-leg Chaturanga. You can always do the regular Chaturanga if you want. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Slowly release from there. And finish your vinyasa. Jump between your palms. Fingertips on the mat. Chest and head lifted up. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, palms all the way up. Exhale, release. Taking a little bit of a break and then moving, I think, to a warrior series, maybe Virabhadrasana and Pashwakonasana, I believe. So separate your feet as wide as you can and slowly make sure your alignment is correct. Push the hip forward, stretch back. Toes in, heel out. I think we're going to do Prasarita Padottanasana first. So drop your palms down, shoulder distance apart. You can always use blocks here if your palms you're not able to reach down. Make sure your kneecaps are lifted up and straight. Make sure you're pushing into the outer edges of your feet firmly. And bend your elbows towards the back of the mat and draw your head down as much as you can. Great for strengthening your legs. Great for opening up your hamstrings. Great for strengthening your glutes. And slowly heel toe your feet in. Coming to a medium stance, I think we are doing Kali Asana or goddess pose here. So push the knees out, push your hip back and squat down. The focus here is to keep the chest elevated. Pull the tailbone in, pull the navel in. If you want, you can interlock your fingers, lift your arms all the way up so that you keep your core really active out here. Make sure your knees are moving out, make sure your hips are moving back. And slowly release. Try to stay in every pose for about 5 to 10 breaths or as much as you can. And now I think we're going for Warrior 2 and Pashwakonasana. So taking a slightly wider stance here. Make sure your alignment is correct. Your right heel is in line with your left foot. And bend your right knee deep. Tuck the tailbone. Pull the navel in. And from there, right palm outside the right foot, left arm over the left ear. You can always bring your right palm on the inside if you feel it's more comfortable. You can use a block under your palm. Keep pushing the outer edge of your left foot all the way moving to your left foot here. And slowly come back to Warrior 2. And from there, you can do a Baddha. I'm doing a Baddha Parshvakonasana. Take your right arm under your right thigh. See if you can bind. You can always use a belt or a cloth. Open up the left shoulder. The hips can be slightly elevated out here. And slowly moving to Ardha Chandrasana from there. Walking your fingertips a little ahead of your right foot. Slowly lift your left leg up. Now the focus here is to turn the hip out rather than the hip facing down. You want to turn the hip out. If you're comfortable, left arm can be lifted up. Otherwise, your left palm can be on your hip. Come back to Warrior 2 and slowly come out of the posture and change sides. Moving to Warrior 2 on the left side first. And from there, moving to Parshvakonasana. Open the shoulders, roll the shoulders back. Left palm outside the left foot and right arm stretched over your right ear. Go ahead and take modifications, whatever works for you. This is a strong pose, a very strong pose rather, but one of the most foundational poses that can build a lot of stability and strength in your body. And from there, moving to a Baddha by taking your left arm under your left thigh. Take your right arm behind, see if you can bind, otherwise use a belt or a cloth or a hand towel, anything that works, or simply grab your t-shirt. Slowly take your left fingertips ahead of your left foot. From there, root through your left foot and lift your right leg all the way up. Open up that right hip, standing leg straight and strong if you can. Right arm lifted up if you're comfortable. You can again use a block here under your left palm to elevate the height. And from there, moving back to Warrior 2. And slowly windmill your arms down, taking your left leg back to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Completing your vinyasa here, adding a little bit of effort, making it a little more challenging, improving your stamina, improving your energy. Bend your knees, lift your heels all the way up and jump between your palms. Fingertips on the mat, chest and head lifted up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Hasta Uttana. Lift your arms all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. I think I'm just going to take a little bit of a break here. That was a lot of work. Slowing down my breath consciously. Awareness to your body, awareness to your mind, awareness to your breath. And starting again, inhale, lift your arms up, exhale, Uttanasana, and chest and head lifted up, walk back. From there, inhale, come to a plank. I think I'm going to do Chamatkarasana or the wild thing. So slowly step that right leg back and open the hips to the sky and push your left palm firmly and try to lift the hip up as much as you can. Right arm stretch back. Again, a great pose for strengthening your upper body. On the other side, separate your feet hip distance apart and drop your left foot behind. You can bend the left knee but keep the right knee straight. Open the hips to the ceiling. Left arm stretched over your left ear. Really opening up that hip, opening the chest, opening the shoulders. And slowly come back. Chamatkarasana or wild thing as they call it. From there, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And completing your vinyasa, bend your knees, jump between your palms. Fingertips on the mat, chest and head lifted up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, release. So I think we are now moving slowly towards back bends. I think the standing asanas are over and we'll do a couple of back bends. I think there's a little bit of Shalabhasana. There's a little bit of Bhujangasana with a twist, I guess. So let's see what we got here. So lie down on your stomach, feet slightly apart, untuck the back toes. And slowly bring your palms by the sides of your rib cage or by the sides of your chest and gently lift up by rolling the shoulders back, lifting the chest and head off the mat, and gently twist and look towards your right heel. A little variation in Bhujangasana on both the sides. Your elbows can always be slightly bent. You don't have to lift up all the way. Make sure you're pushing your pubic bone down towards the mat. And from there, moving to Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog, and staying here for some time. Lifting your kneecaps up, thighs up as much as you can. And back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll do a little bit of a modified version of Shalabhasana today by coming to a plank first and then dropping your knees, chest and chin in Ashtanga Namaskar. And slowly wriggle your knees slightly forward. Lift your right leg up and support your right knee or the right thigh with your left foot, as I've seen. If you want to add a little bit of challenge to this, you can always lift your chest and chin off the mat like the way I've shown you here to simultaneously build some strength in your upper body as well. Repeating on the other side. And moving up to an up dog. Exhale back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. And shift your weight forward, jump between your palms or sit on the mat. Okay, just cross your ankle, sit on the mat and stretch your legs out in front of you. I think we're going to do a little bit of work for the core now. So I think we're going to do Navasana or the boat pose. So taking a short break here to kind of just settle down. Then bend your knees, bring your feet hip distance apart. Make sure your chest is lifted up. Lift both your legs off the mat parallel to the floor. Your shins are parallel to the floor. And slowly release your palms if you're comfortable. All through the practice, you really want to focus on moving your chest towards your thighs and not the other way around. You really don't want to round your spine. You want to keep the spine lifted up as much as you can. 5, 10, how many hour breaths you can, and try to complete the vinyasa here by jumping back into Chaturanga. Inhale Urdhva Mukha, exhale Adho Mukha Svanasana. I think I'm doing one more round, so cross your ankles, lift up into Navasana straight away, knees can be bent. Make sure you're moving your chest forward. This is really not my favorite as well. I really hate doing this. And jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale Urdhva Mukha, exhale Adho Mukha Svanasana. But most of the times, things that we don't like are the ones that are really sometimes very good for us. So we need to push ourselves and get these things done. And slowly come back, and I think I'm going to do Ubhaya Padangushtasana again for some core activation. So bend your knees, take your palms from inside and grab your big toes firmly. With control, keeping your back straight, keeping your spine straight. Try to straighten your hamstrings as much as you can, pointing the toes up as you keep lifting up. Really work on rooting through your sit bones. Lift the chest up, and from there see if you can gently slide back into an Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana, or almost like a modified version of Halasana. Staying here for about 5 breaths, keep your kneecaps lifted up, and from there see if you can come back to Ubhaya Padangushtasana. All these things build a lot of mobility in the body. Staying here again for 5 breaths, relax the shoulder blades, pull the shoulder blades down and cross your ankles. Complete your vinyasa here. Body is really tired now. Jump back, Chaturanga. Inhale Urdhva Mukha, exhale Adho Mukha Svanasana. And shift your weight forward, jump between your palms and sit on the mat. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Moving for a gentle forward fold, Trayanga Mukha Paschimottanasana. And bend your knees here, roll the calf muscle out. If this could be challenging for some of you to bring the heel close to the outer hip, if that is the case, then you really want to avoid this. If your knees are hurting, you can do the regular Janu Shirsasana by bending the knee and bringing the foot to the front. Or you can even do the regular Paschimottanasana. So go ahead and take an option, because if you feel your body is tilting to one side, then probably you'd still need a little more time to get into this practice, because we really want the pelvis to be stable here. Bend your elbows to the sides and gazing at your fingertips, eyes closed. Focusing on your parasympathetic nervous system here, shutting it down, trying to calm down your breath, trying to reduce the rate of your breathing. On the other side, inhale, lengthen up, exhale, pull the belly in and fold forward. So once again, if you think your body is sliding to one side, you do want to make sure that your hips are square and both your butt is literally fixed to the mat. Otherwise, do the regular Janu Shirsasana or the regular Paschimottanasana here. Because anything that gives you a shooting pain in the knee is certainly not worth harming that part or doing that asana at the sake of harming your knees or causing injuries to your body. Slowly sitting back, relaxing for a couple of breaths. I think today we are also going to try the compass pose or the Surya Yantrasana. Again, it's a bit of a work on the hamstring. It needs a little bit of openness in the back of your legs. But nevertheless, you can try it and we can work on how to access that pose. So first we'll do rock the baby pose or the cradle pose by hooking our arms around your right foot like the way I've shown here and just rocking that like a baby. Just imagine that you had a baby in your hands, and if you had to put a baby to sleep, how would you do that? So just keep rocking side to side to open up the hip flexors a little. Your body is already pretty warm by now because the practice was strong. So I think you can access this pose. Now slowly see if you can hold your right foot under the ankle and press the right thigh onto your shoulder, and slowly with your left palm hold the outside of your right foot and see if you can slowly straighten that leg as much as you can. Couple of options here. You can loop a belt around your right foot and do that. You can keep a block under your right palm to kind of lift yourself up. You can actually sit on a block as well. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my props with me. Otherwise, I would have shown that in the video. So go ahead and try on the left side, Surya Yantrasana. First, allow the hips to open up by practicing the cradle pose. I call this as rock the baby pose because I kind of feel like I'm having a baby in my hands. And slowly take your left palm under your left ankle. Lift that leg up and try to slide your left shoulder completely under your left thigh. The more you're able to slide it, the more stable your leg would be. And hold your left foot with your right palm and slowly lift up. Trying to lift up as much as you can, trying to straighten the left leg. Always don't push yourself too much. Use a belt, use a prop, they are your friends. Keep a block under your left palm. You can sit on a block. The right leg can also be stretched out if it's too much for you. And release slowly. Ooh, that's a lot of work actually. I'm already tired. I can see that. And slowly release. Lie down on your back. I think we'll just finish with a couple of work for the glutes and for the back. So just hug your right knee to your chest, stretch your left leg out, and just to get some relief for your lower back and to get some relief for your hamstrings, take your palms around your right thigh and lift your right leg all the way up. Make sure the left leg is active. Make sure your shoulders are pressing into the mat. You're not really lifting the shoulders or hunching your shoulders too much. And switch sides. Left leg lifted up, right leg is active. This just gives a little bit of relief to your lower back. If there's any tightness, if there's any catch in any muscle, This should kind of help you to get over that. And bend your knees, feet hip distance apart, roll your thighs and knees in, preparing for Setu Bandha Sarvangasana or the bridge pose. We'll try and work for some hamstring strengthening here. So interlock your fingers under your hips, lift your hips all the way up, moving your chest towards your chin as much as you can. Push into your feet firmly. Now slowly lift your right leg up, point the right toes out, bringing the right knee in line with your left knee. This is great for strengthening your hamstrings. Keep lifting the hip up as you do that, and on the other side, keep rolling the right knee in. It's not important how high you're lifting, but it's more important how much you're engaging that leg. And staying in bridge for another 5 or 10 breaths. Slowly release. And we'll also try and see if we can just do a little bit of a more extra effort in bridge by taking your palms under your hips, roll the thighs in and walk your elbows in, squeezing your shoulder blades, so that you're finally resting only on top of your shoulder blades, and slowly start to straighten the legs and bring the feet together as close as you can. This could cause some deep sensations in your lower back for some of you, so take it easy and back off at the first hint of any kind of a shooting pain. And slowly release and get back to the mat. Hug your knees. And slowly relax in Supta Baddha Konasana for a few breaths by bringing the soles of your feet together. And once you feel completely relaxed, once your heart rate is completely back to normal, hug your knees to your chest, rock up 3 or 4 times and sit up. I think I'm going to try and do a tripod headstand today. So just relax your spine for a couple of breaths in Parvatasana and then drop your knees down. So this is like your choice. If you want, you can skip this completely, or you can try an inversion of your choice. You can go to the wall and practice headstand against the wall. But I'm doing a tripod today, so I'm going to drop the crown of my head on the mat and bring my palms close to my knees so that I form like a nice triangle, and slowly tuck my toes and take my knees off the mat. Keep shifting my weight towards my palms and my head and slowly lift up into a tripod. You can always stop here, you can take it at your pace, you can do it against the wall, and slowly stretch up all the way. Take it slowly, like the way if you see I'm not really going up fully instantly. I'm taking my time to kind of straighten my legs completely here. And throughout the practice, work on rolling the elbows in towards each other so that your alignment and your engagement of your biceps and triceps is uniform across your shoulders. And push the hip back and slowly come down with control. And rest in child's pose for some time, separating your knees mat distance apart. Slowly release your head to the mat and just let go completely. And from there, we are, I think, winding up the practice, moving to Shavasana. You can always do a little bit of a spinal twist before you kind of wrap up. But I'm just going to do Matsyasana first to just kind of relax my neck, relax my spine. And Matsyasana is always good to do after any inversion that you do, whether it's a shoulder stand, whether it's a headstand, whether it's a handstand. It's good to just allow the spine to come back to its normal position. It's good to relax the neck, to release any stiffness or tension from the base of your neck. Especially after shoulder stand and headstand, Matsyasana is really useful. And from there, moving on to Shavasana. Go ahead and make any adjustments, taking your feet mat distance apart, palms completely away from the hips, and letting go completely into the mat. And also take a second here to reflect on your practice. How does the body feel? How does the mind feel? And always make sure you feel good about yourself, you feel good about your practice. You don't start comparing yourself. It is your body, it is your practice. And you are not here to prove anything to anybody. Slowly bring your feet together, lift your arms all the way up, give a nice stretch to your body. Bend your knees and gently roll over to your right side. And with your eyes closed, slowly come and sit up in any comfortable posture. And just sitting up in Sukhasana and just staying here with complete body stillness for, say, a couple of breaths before you wind down. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Try it and let me know how you feel. Namaste. Thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.